And they say romance is dead. Fuckers. What a bunch of idiots. You know who's dead? God. God and Jesus. All of them ones. All of those. All the gods. All the deities. They've all fucked off and left us alone. You know, in as much as they never actually existed. But we're all alone in the universe. Some would say love is all that matters. Romance, love, neurological con job that it is. A load of malarkey, if you ask me. A load of bunkum and balls, balderdash, codswallop, fucking shite. A load of shit balls. A load of fucking piss cunt. A load of stupid old person diarrhea shit into their nylon tights, gets in their shoes, they squidge in it, they fall down, they die of old age and loneliness because everyone's left them, nobody cares. Poor old fucks. So today I'm drawing Earthworm Jim. Wow, if you couldn't tell already. Bloody hell. Do you like a bit of the old Jimmy Jim Jim? The earthworm, birthworm, birthworms. Ugh. Have you ever had birthworms? Yes. I gave birth to a whole load of worms. They all came out of my vagina instead of a baby. They were worms packed into the shape of a baby. And they fell out, hit the floor and all slithered away from each other. As well they might, birthworms. Those things. I'm also, sometimes, I'll draw one sketch and it works perfectly. But with these ones, I wasn't quite sure on the facial expression to give Jim. So a few little sketches. I think I've settled on this one. I'm quite happy with it. I've got the shape of his head body following through to the teeth are going to match up with the rest of his body with the mouth coming on the outside. That should be quite a nice little piece, shouldn't it? Yes, it shouldn't. Also, you may have spotted little Pepper the Pig there. That would be a nice one. What are these all for? Well, I'm sure you've seen my incredibly popular black and white sketches of cartoon characters that I've been doing. My plan is to, I think I showed the big pile of card I had in the previous podcast. Here's some of the drawing. Squidward, handsome Squidward, he's a popular one. Stimpy, Ren, Johnny, Eddie, Ed, and Ed. Those are the ones I've got so far. Planning on having many more. But for now, we're working on going to get a Jimmy Jim done. I'll get a Pepper the Pig done at some point because that'll be a nice, quick and easy one, really. So it's not even worth bothering for a podcast, is it? You know, a bit of a waste to draw Peppa Pig. But in Peppa Pig, I'm in two minds about this one. Part of me wants to do it, 3D rendered, like a big, grotesque, actual living Peppa Pig type brute. The other side of me wants to still make it look like paper, but then have like eyeballs floating atop of it, just like it's weird and creepy. I don't know, I'll probably go the 3D route because that's sort of a bit more fun to draw. And I think if anyone's going to buy it, it'll probably be more likely they'd buy it in that case as opposed to the other. So that's how we work with those. Rough sketch, about this size. They're roughly A6, a quarter of an A4 page of paper. And then I drew this one here just to make sure Ooh. All the Lightbox light pad thing making another appearance. One of the most invaluable gifts I received from my good friend Sam, the penis man. Oh, that's right. I might have to turn off my desk lamp so I can see through. I can just about see through, although, oh, okay. Well, there's an issue. Oh, I didn't think this through entirely. My bad. Let's get a blotting sheet and a marker pen, because there's so many diddly-doody drawings on here, I can't really make out the lines very well through the old light box. So I'm just going to enhance them with the power of this here marker pen, and then we'll be good to go, possibly. Bad-do, squizzle dizzle, doddle and die. Jimmy Jim Jim. Oh, look at that, I've run out of things to say already. I do have plans for the podcast. I just don't have talking points, I guess. Black ballpoint pen, otherwise known as a biro. You've seen them before, you know how they work. You get it. I'll know you and tell us more about the materials you use. Can you believe to this day some people will still ask me what kind of pens etc. I use? And you know, obviously I get new followers sort of every now and again. They're maybe not entirely up on the Ewan lore, you know, the historical context of who I am and what I do. But you know, you fucking figure that shit out, you know. What kind of pens do you can see what kind of fuck. Yeah, it doesn't really bother me, I'm just saying. So there comes a time in every man's life where he has to get what's known as a prostate exam. I've never really thought too much about it, but I'm aware that one of the symptoms of an enlarged prostate is needing to urinate a lot more regularly, often, needing to urinate a lot more often than might have been previously usual. And I know I cut into a previous podcast with needing to wee-wee, and I'm feeling that I need to wee-wee now. But at the same time, I don't want to say, oh, it's probably prostate cancer, because I have in my, you know, my new positive outlook on life that I'm, I don't know, doing something with. I am trying to drink more water because when I was at work, I drink quite a lot of water just because it was hot and busy all the time. So I'd get thirsty and dehydrated, so I drink a lot of water. But now I'm at home all day doing fuck all. I don't really drink water. I drink juice and milk and fizzy, whatever I fucking fancy at the time. So I'm trying to go through like at least one little bottle of water a day, if not more so. But of course, with that, ladies and gents, comes the wee-wees. Got to make the wee-wees and do the wee-wee-wees. Look at that, Jimmy to Jim Jim, Jimmy Nim Nims. Oh, his name is Jim. He's an earthworm. They call him Jim the Earthworm. I don't know if the Earthworm Jim cartoon theme song is copyrighted or not. So I mean, I assume it is, but otherwise I'd love to use it in my video. But I don't know if it's necessarily a smart idea to do so. I don't want my video to get taken down. That would be terrible. Oh, imagine you, and if your videos, what would you do? You'd lose all that income. Oh, I looked up my stats. There's a website called Social Blade. I'm sure you're all aware of it to some degree. You can type in the username of sort of any creator on YouTube, Instagram, I guess Twitter, whatever, and it gives you like their social stats. You know, how many followers they have, you know, the engagement percentages and demographics, people following them and such. If it's more men, more women, etc., etc. And one thing it also says is it gives a potential monetary earnings per like month and per year, based on, you know, I guess whatever. It also gives you like a letter grade, like ABC or whatever, depending on, you know, how popular your page is, how much it's used. I think engagement, like how often people actually engage with your content, is a big part of that. And I was looking at my Instagram one, because my old Instagram, I had, I think I was a B plus grade, which is very, very good. And it said I could be earning potentially £500 to £700 per like, you know, endorsement. Like if I shout out a product on my page, they should be paying me anywhere from £500 to £700 on my old page. You know, when I had tens of thousands of followers. So I was curious to see what my new page was at, but it's too new that they don't really have stats for it yet. This is droning on and on. God, who gives a shit? Point being, I happened upon my YouTube one because I thought, well, while I'm here, I can check my YouTube, see how brilliant that is. Obviously, you know, I haven't had my channel for a long time. I haven't really been uploading content for very long. It's a modest little following I've managed to get myself. And in like YouTube numbers, my following is nothing. It's drop in the ocean, as it were, pennies to the pound. But you know, it's not all about it. But it said my potential yearly earnings currently, based on my you know, my current following and engagement and views and whatnot through YouTube, is anywhere from £50 to £150 for the year, which, you know, it's not bad money. It's only a little bit less than what I get out of Patreon a month. Oh, a month, yeah, no, actually I get a lot more than that a year, I suppose. Yeah, so, you know, not brilliant, but it's something. It's a start, isn't it? I'll be up there with the big boys one day. You wait, I'll have 1 million subscribers on YouTube one day if I keep putting out quality content like this. So as you can see, we've got the basic line drawing down. Now we're just thickening up the lines. No real, you know, I don't care about keeping it too clean and tidy. Partly, you know, it's my sort of dirty boy aesthetic. Smudges and ink splotches and stuff just sort of works with, you know, the work I create. Fits into whatever. But also, being that all these sketches are going to be sold for, you know, £20 to £30 each, it's not the sort of thing I'm going to be spending hours and hours and hours making sure it's all perfect. A fairly quick little rough sketcheroos that I'm doing. So if I spend like an hour or two on each one, sell them for £20 to £30, sell a bunch of them, that's all right. That's not bad. That's a pretty good deal for me, pretty good deal for whoever's buying them. Because either way, it's an original sketch, isn't it? Of someone else's character that they created. Because, you know. But yeah, you can turn your nose up at fan art, but nowhere near as many people would want to buy my own, you know, content. they want those drawings. I've already had I've had a couple of people want to reserve some of the drawings I've already done. You know, which just goes to show that's what they like, isn't it? Ren and Stimpy, SpongeBob SquarePants. Well, I put a thing on my Instagram asking, you know, what cartoon characters people would want to see, and got over 100 comments, which just goes to show people are really into that shit. Oh, I do mean shit. What a load of horse shite. But then, you know, some of the cartoon characters are pretty fun to draw. This one, for instance, Earthworm Jim. I always loved Earthworm Jim. He was fun, wasn't he? Technically a video game character as opposed to a cartoon character. He did have a cartoon, but he was a video game character first. But, you know, I don't give a fuck. I'm you and I don't give a fuck about none. Bitch. And these lines can all be thickened up as and when I please, if I so choose. But you know, once I add the shading, I'll have a better idea of where it's all going. For now, this is just the skeleton of the piece, if you will. Quite like that. Right, ladies and, dare I say, gentlemen. I'm going to go do a wee because, you know, I've got to go. Do you know what I should do? I should keep a glass next to me for podcasts from now on. So if I need to do a wee, I'll do it right here on the podcast. I'll pop the glass here, I'll wee into it, probably splash on my drawings a bit. But hey, texture and shit in it. It's all good fun. Yeah, I'm going to go do a wee. I'll be back in a bit. Take my mic off. And I'll go do a wee. Oh, hi, I'm back. I came back just to see you guys. I love you so much that I thought it would make sense to finish my drawing. Did you guys know my calendar's arrived? Yeah, I know. It's fantastic, isn't it? I had some calendars printed. A whole load of butts. 2020 calendar by Ewan. That's me. Now, I don't want to say I'm a piece of shit, but this one and this one aren't in the calendar. I did some chopping and changing. So they're on the front cover, so it might mislead people into thinking they're in the but they're not in the calendar. Came out quite nice. All the drawings of butts. I've already made like a video. I unboxed them, but you know, I need to get the word out, don't I? Make sure everyone sees that I've got this lovely, lovely calendar available for purchase. This one, and a few of the others, I added in the background in Photoshop. I put a little bit of like faint highlight here just to sort of enhance them slightly so they weren't all just white backgrounds. The same here. Pop the background in, faded it slightly just to, because otherwise they're all just drawings on white background, so I needed to, you know, switch them up a bit. The same again here, pop the background in, some lighting effects. Just for a bit of extra oomph on the drawings. A little bit there. Same again. Oh, this is interesting. Is it? No. Same again. Lighting in the background just to make it, you know, it's for a calendar. It's supposed to be like, wow, and pew. It's a calendar, schmalender in my Bobalender. And I tried to put a good mix of like, you know, rough sketchy drawings and more complete drawings. some bigger butts, some smaller butts. You know, so it's a bit of variety in there. All girls, of course. We are objectifying women. Don't let's be silly, you know. It's what it's all about, isn't it? Take the women, look at them as the objects they so clearly are. Well, if they're going to go around decorating themselves if they were objects, makeup and dresses and such, then they'll bloody well get looked at as if they were them. Ha! Oh, isn't misogyny hilarious? Yep, it is. It's really funny all of the time. So today we're drawing Earthworm Jim. That was my calendar segment. I hope you enjoyed that. I didn't. I do think maybe I ought to get my prostate examined though. As I was saying before. You know, I'm 31 now. You know, I'm not ancient. I'm not crumbling away just yet. But even so, for my own benefit, it might be worth just having a little checky check. The issue with that, of course, is it's the old finger in the bum, isn't it? Which I don't have a problem with, you know. I've had my own finger in there from time to time, just see how it feels. While I'm, you know, enjoying myself, having a night in with myself, as it were, with myself and internet pornography. Stick the old finger in the bumhole while I'm having a go. Get a nice little feely feel up there. It can be nice. But I don't know how comfortable I'd be in a doctor's office with a stranger putting their finger up my bottom. Well, frankly, I might enjoy it. I might only be able to get off from then on by having a stranger with a rubber glove sticking a finger up my bum. And I don't know if that's a step I'm ready to take right now. But then, that said, I've taken quite a couple of large steps lately, so that might be just what I need to do. It's just where I'm headed. Heading to the great unknown. Of having strangers put their finger in my bum. Ba-da-ba-doo. You know, there was a time, of course, where I'd say, prostate cancer, hoo-hoo, bring it on. Eat me from the inside out, please. But I'm trying, very, very much trying, quite hard to diminish my, I don't want to say my suicidal tendencies, but my, you know, my sort of, my self-hatred and my talk of wanting to die and stuff. At the moment, I am still a bit at the point of like, you know, it's just endless toil until you're dead. Great. Like, even if I'm drawing for that whole time, like, cool, then what? Yeah, great. But I'm trying, brothers and sisters. I am trying. Trying to be a more positive Ewan. And that's really the thing, because, like, being a depressed fuck was, like, starting to become, if not already heavily was, a large part of, like, my personality and my humour, you know, work I create and stuff, which, you know, people relate to, so it's cool in that respect. But then it's like, you start to think, well, I don't want to get better, because then what am I going to be, a positive, happy Ewan? That sounds disgusting. I don't want to be that. And, you know, it kind of does sound disgusting. But maybe if there's, you know, if I can get out of fucking bed in the morning and not just think about fucking hanging myself all day, maybe I'll be onto something good. And, you know, so far, I've been getting commissions. I've been enjoying drawing them, having time to myself to actually do shit. Lots of plans for my own work. Hopefully I get the, you know, time to do those. I have the money behind me that I have time to actually sit and create the work I really want to create. Then, you know, not to say I will be happy then, but I might be happier than I am now. Could happen. I could end up making a fucking shitload of money from art, more money than I ever thought I'd make. I can't drive for it. Let's take that one. I don't drive. I've never had any intention of driving. It's never a thing I cared about. I don't give a shit about cars as things in general. I don't care about driving. I'm quite cool with public transport, trains and buses and shit. Whatever, I get where I need to get. It's not really a hassle. But one issue has always been I could never foresee a situation in which I'd be able to afford to keep and run a car, let alone afford tests and shit, lessons and tests so I can legally drive. And I remember my stepdad once asked me if I ever thought about getting a scooter, because he's one of those like scooter moped heads, whatever, joins the clubs and stuff, Vespers and I don't know the other one. My answer to him was not that I'm not interested in it, but I'm not interested in it. Shut up, you old man, you fucking old idiot. No, I don't want to ride a scooter. I don't want people to think I'm gay. They already know I'm gay. I don't need to ride a scooter just to emphasise that. It was more, I can't see myself ever being able to afford a fucking scooter even. And there, it get a bit pricey if you get like a good high-end one, but they're nowhere near as expensive like cars or whatever. But even then I just couldn't see how it would be possible I'd have enough money to buy something like that. Especially I was trying, but I couldn't get out of my dead end 9 to 5 retail job or whatever. I don't make enough money to save any money, so how am I going to be able to buy any fucking thing? And even now, in like the early days of actually making money off of my artwork, I'm making a little bit more money than I was at work, and I'm looking at it thinking like, oh shit, I don't expect this to just continue as it is, because you have good months, you have bad months, it's whatever in terms of making money. But if it goes even half as good as it's been going, I'll probably be doing all right. And then you've got to think, well, what if I end up making loads of money from my artwork? What if that happens somehow? If I get well known and I start getting more work, or I just make more money on my own through like commissions and stuff, then shit, I'm going to have money. I'm going to be able to do shit. But then I start thinking, well, what the fuck am I going to do? I don't have any dreams or aspirations, but probably just make more books and shit. I don't know. Christ. I was going to try and make this an interesting podcast, but I guess that idea's gone out the window. Would you like to see a card game I've been developing? Well, I had thought about developing some years ago, and again, owing to time and money and such, I'd never really gotten around to doing anything. Owing to time and money and such, I'd never really gotten around to doing anything with. I mentioned it very briefly in my video going through a sketchbook. I came across a couple of sketches in that sketchbook that I had done to be artwork for a couple of the cards within that card game. The card game is called Ox. OX, based on, noughts and crosses, because the whole game is based on noughts and crosses. It's a battle card game. It takes place over 9 map tile cards within the confines of a noughts and crosses board, or X's and O's, or whatever it is in your country. And within each of these map tiles is contained another separate noughts and crosses board. So it's like 9 noughts and crosses games going on within one larger noughts and crosses game. So what I did one day, you know, as usually happens, I'll have an idea that it'll be festering away in my head for, you know, days or weeks, and then one day I'll go, right, let's do this. So I took a bunch of like cereal box card and whatever. Oh shit, sorry. This is from the back of like an oven cooked pizza. I made all these cards, and then just in ballpoint pen, I drew the cards. So it's a mix of sci-fi and fantasy, all genres, just shit all in there. So this card is Soldiers Made of Jewels. Play as regular troops, get +3 victory points to map. Mech. Play as regular troops, +1 victory point to map. See, because Soldiers Made of Jewels are worth more than a mech, so they're more victory points if you win. More mechs. And then there's a bunch of just literally X's and O cards that you put down as your regular troops. A wizard. Play as regular troops. One adjacent XO card is transformed into a slug beast. Whoa! A slug beast. Play as regular troops. Another XO card can be played on top of this. See, I had all these rules. It's a full game. It's a proper, you can play. I've played a few games with my my at the time brother-in-law, and it's a proper, yeah, you can play it, and it's good. My plan is to do all the artwork for all the cards, and then get a set printed, make videos playing a few games, and try and get it made as like an official actual card game with like a mat to play on and such. I don't care if you're not interested, I'm going to go into it anyway. There's that blotting sheet, that'll do. So here's how the game works. Obviously everybody knows this is noughts and crosses at its most basic. So this is how the game is played. So you have these map tile cards. The drawings aren't great, they were done years ago and very, very quickly in like 2 in the morning. Desert of Betrayal, Refinery, Barracks, City, Underground Caves, Village, Forest, Carcass of an Enormous Creature, Quarry, Floating Island, Undersea Facility, Swamp, Robot City, Watchtower, Wasteland, Mine, and a Worm. That's a card. So at the start of the game you take 9 of these random, you select 9 at random of these map, goes in the centre of one of these squares. So then each of these becomes a separate noughts and crosses board. There's a lot of words I'm saying, but it's actually a very simple game. You're playing noughts and crosses with some extra rules and shit. So each of these middle squares becomes a map card. So this would be a wasteland. So you'd put the wasteland in the middle of that one, and then this would be another wasteland. Whatever would be there. So then this is a wasteland. This is a wasteland. This is a barracks. This is whatever. So there's 9. I don't know the word for it now. Territories. 9 territories to play. And then you play cards to win a noughts and crosses game, but you have to win 3 territories in a row as if you were playing noughts and crosses. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you draw all your cards at random. So I think you get like 3 cards per turn, and then you pick one up every turn. So you can play X's and or O's. I think, I don't remember all the rules, but yeah. So you play. So that's a wasteland card in the middle. In the middle here is a wasteland card. Here, and then the first player goes, right, I'll play my. Well, the smart place to do it would be here, and the next player goes, cool, I'll put my X here, and then the next O player goes, well, then I'll play my O here, and then the next player goes, well, I'll play my X here, and then the O player, where's another O card? I don't have any more O cards. Goes, well, then I'll play this here, and then the X player goes, well, then I'll play it here, Where would be the... Oh, I don't think I played this very well. But you know how Noughts and Crosses works. And then... whatever. So that's that. And then whoever wins this, then they need to win this, or this. You know, like Noughts and Crosses. You get it. But then there's other cards as well. So there's Soldiers Made of Jewels. This is with an O in the background. So you could play that like as if it's an O card. So you go, well, I'm playing Soldiers Made of Jewels. And then let's find a card with some good shit to it. I don't have any good cards. Where's all my good cards? Oh, this is quite a good one. Someone could play the Giant Monster card. Play in the centre of the last map to have been played in, which would be this one. Move this one space to the right each turn until it is out of the area. It destroys any card it touches. So, a Giant Monster is now in the wasteland and destroys any card it touches. So this is now gone. So the person who played their X here no longer has an X here. So that space can now be played in. So then next turn, say that was the circle, I guess, who played that. It's the X's turn, so they can go, well, I don't have any other cards, so I'll play an X here, just because. And then next turn, this moves one space to the right, which destroys this. So now this is a free space, and this will be a free space when the Giant Monster. And then that Giant Monster would then move one space to the right, all the way through here until it's off the board, destroying every card it touches on the way. So you might be about to win, like way over here. You might be about to win, you have 2 in a row, about to get the third, and a Giant Monster fucking comes through and kills the cards that you had. So you have to use strategy to keep playing and battling each other for victory in these territories. Should it come to a draw, as you know, I can't play Noughts and Crosses properly, so it came to a draw quite quick. You do it based on victory points. So this wasteland has +3 victory points because it's got some Soldiers Made of Jewels in it. So whoever has the most victory points wins overall. And there's some fun cards in here. I've got ideas for new cards as well. I can't find any of the fun ones. Soldiers Made of Jewels again. Oh, there's a couple of cards that like you put underneath other cards that have a time release effect. So like it will say in 2 turns, destroy this card because it's an explosion or something. And there's a card that is, oh, I lost it. Diversion, which is you put it under a card. It doesn't do anything, but it makes the other player think something's happening when actually nothing's happening. More soldiers. Oh, so many Soldiers Made of Jewels. Jesus, come up with some new ideas. Worm, a giant worm. There you go, giant worm. People running away from the giant worm. Again, the artwork stinks. Players regular troops. One adjacent opposing exo card gets eaten. Okay, so if I'm the O player and this is now a vacant space, I put this card here. The worm comes out of the ground and eats this, destroying that card. Meaning this is now. You see, so you can fuck with each other and play and play and play until you win. And there are cards that even so once you win, if you've won this one, if X's wins this one, then that's an X board. You cannot play any more cards in here now that this has been won. So you move on to the next one. But you can play multiple throughout the turn. You can start playing here, then play here while you're still playing here, all over the place. But obviously it makes sense to try and win one at a time. But then there are cards that can affect cards in here without being played directly in them. Like this one, obviously, as it says, one adjacent card gets eaten. So if you play it here, it can eat one from this side of the... I know, fascinating stuff. Again, lots of words, but it works as a game. To be honest, it's a fucking good game, and I really want to get it made. My main reason for making it, the game itself is quite simple, and it could be quite a quick playthrough, 20, 30 minutes maybe or more. But the point was, I want to make just a fun little combat card game with really fucking cool artwork. So obviously all this was just literally, I just wanted to get artwork on the cards so I could play just to see if it worked. My plan is to have them all like fully painted pieces of artwork on the cards with like little bits of text and a border where necessary, but just all the artwork to be really fucking good. All black and white paintings, I think. So it's got a one overall so like color theme to it. The whole game will be black and white based, but like really nicely painted pictures. So like nice, cool paintings of like soldiers that are made of jewels. Cool paintings of like a giant worm coming out of the ground. Cool painting of a giant monster destroying shit. A mech. There's wizards and fucking all kinds of shit. Slug beasts. Yeah. So I'd love at some point to find the time to do all the artwork for that. Oh look, a worm card. Any XO card can be played on top of this. So you can play it as regular troops, so you can potentially win a board with that. But if you don't win the board, someone else can come along and go, bleh, because it's only a worm. So your troop cards can just stand on it because it's a worm. It doesn't matter. But it can, if you win the map, then you can't play any more cards on top of it because the map's already been won, like I just said. And all these X's and O cards will have like troop paintings on them. One troop painting for the O cards, one troop painting for the X cards, and you have a bunch of those in the deck, as you can see. But I just did the X's and O's just again, so I had something to play with. Sorry if that's terribly uninteresting to a large portion of you, but I think it's a bloody good game. And if I can ever get the artwork for it done, it will be really, really fucking cool. It will look great. And then, you know, if I can get it turned into an actual game sometime, you know, it'll be cool. I'll make a card game. I'll make books. I'll write a book about goblins. I'll make comics about Vikings with guns. I'll make a card game where you battle fucking in a nuke-proof suit. Any XO card that cannot be affected by any other... Wait, what? Oh, so you can put that on a regular troop card, and that card is now nuke-proof, so that cannot be affected. So if there was a worm that would like eat that, it can't because it's got this like super suit that protects it from all kinds of shit. See, there's shit going on, man. There's smart ideas and things in this game. I just need to fucking make it, which is why ideally, if I can have Patreon taking care of my rent, do like, you know, a couple of commissions at the start of a month to get a bit of extra cash, and spend the rest of the month working on shit like this. And then make shit, make cool shit, make more books, make games, make fucking dope artwork for people to enjoy in it. Because that's all I want to do. I just want to make some cool fucking artwork for people. Speaking of cool artwork, today we're drawing Earthworm Jim. Isn't that what we're doing today? Probably won't finish this. I sort of rattled on about my X's and O's game quite a bit. In other news, I'm going to be starting to write my Goblin book very soon. I've got Google Docs on my little netbook. I'm going to go sit in coffee shops and type away. Because what usually happens with things like that, if it's comics or whatever I happen to be working on, writing things, it might take me quite a while to get into it. But then literally, one day, literally, like the inside me will go, do it now. And I'll be like, shit, yeah, do it now. Sit down, I'll start typing, and it'll come out. It will all come out. I'll write entire chapters in one sitting. I'm fairly confident that's how this Goblin book will go. It might take me a little while to get into it, but once I start writing it, it's all going to come out and it's going to be really fucking good. It's going to be funny, it's going to be informative. Again, it's going to have some sick, killer, dope-ass artwork. Get some cool Goblin illustrations done specifically for that book. I think they'll all be black and white pen and ink, or like brush pen illustrations, again with like a little bit of ballpoint shading, just for, you know, just cause. And there is sort of a vibe. Well, I think I've got it here. Yeah. This is the oldest book I own. It's Steve Jackson's Sorcery, the Shamutanti Hills. It's a choose your own adventure book. Fighting fantasy book. Where it's, you know, like, let's see. Too late, you tried to leap clear of the pitfall trap which has opened beneath you. You drop some 3 meters into the pit and collapse unconscious in a heap. Turn to 139. Ooh, what happens at 139? What's 139? God damn it. 139. When you regain consciousness, you are bound hand and foot. The excited jabberings of a small group of black-skinned headhunters around you make you fear for your life. You may try to cast a spell, or you may wait to see what they intend to do with you. Turn to 112. Oh, I went miles the wrong way. Oh, shit, this could actually make quite a fun little video, couldn't it? The little men carry you off, and you soon arrive at the headhunter camp. There is much commotion as you are led into the centre of the settlement. Several natives rush off to fill a large pot with water to be heated over a fire, the implications of which you do not relish. Meanwhile, you are put into a bamboo cage guarded by a strong warrior. Do you wish to pray to Libra for assistance? If so, turn to 25, or not, turn to 242. Let's go 242. Let's see what happens. They might be making a nice dinner for me. A short while later, 2 headhunters return and take you from the cage. As they bustle you towards the pot, now steaming as the water heats, you receive a blow on the head. Oh, give me a blow. Yeah, go on, fucking blow me. You slump unconscious and never reawaken. You will provide the natives with fresh meat tonight. ... You died. Oh dear. That would actually be quite... Do you reckon that'd be a good video if I just played through this and filmed it and uploaded it? Like a let's play of a book instead of a video game. That might be fun. It could be. But this is like, I don't know, let's see if it says when it was published in 1983, reprinted 1984. God damn, 4 years before I was born. Yeah, this is the oldest book I own. As you can see, it's a little bit tattered. But this is the sort of vibe I want for my Goblin encyclopedia field guide thing. This sort of like, you know, tattered little illustrations, more goblin-y, little bits of text explaining about goblins and stuff. Lots of little passages you can read. Rather than walls and walls of text, little passages. So you can sit it next to the toilet, pick it up, read a little bit about goblins. There's a couple of nice drawings in there. John Blanche, I believe, is the guy who illustrated this one. You may know him, if you know him at all, from Games Workshop. He is one of the main guys in there. Really kind of like spooky, eerie illustrations. But yeah, this book used to haunt me as a kid, like shit like that. I remember seeing that when I was I had this book when I was 3, 4, 5 years old. I see shit like that and just be like, what the fuck am I looking at? Maybe it influenced what I am now. Oh, cool. Fucking look at that. Hydra. That's sick. Yeah, man. So this is the sort of thing I want my Goblin book to look like. I'm going to see about if I can get it published, having it published on like uncoated paper so it like ages quicker, because I want it to feel like aged and shitty. But we'll see about that. That's fucking cool as well. Manticore. That shit creeped me out when I was a kid. Honestly, that was like terrifying. Man, yeah, actually, now I think about it, that might be quite a funny little video to do. Let's play through the Shamutanti Hills. Got some dice to roll. Keep a score sheet. See where we end up. God, that'd be cool. And it's number 1 in the series, so even better. Ha! So today we're drawing Earthworm Jim.